Hi everyone, Nick here, and today we're going to take a little step back and just do a classic plant haul video. I've had a lot of fun over the past few months doing some videos with some really awesome companies that I've really enjoyed supporting and really enjoyed making these videos, but I'm going to go back to the classic things for today and just do my own little video and do a plant haul video over the plants I have accumulated over the past month or two. Around 2 months ago, I got hired at a plant shop here in Philadelphia called Urban Jungle, which is the largest plant shop as of right now in Philadelphia, and it is an absolute dream to work there. I have met some awesome people, including many of you, and it's been very wonderful chatting with you guys about plants and helping you guys pick out the plants in the store, because we do have a lot of awesome plants. Speaking of which, it is hard not to leave with a plant every day. Of course, I'm not buying a plant every day. I try to hold myself back to maybe like 2 or 3 a week, but in this last 2 months, I've definitely acquired 15 to 20 plants. So without further ado, I would love to share them all with you because a lot of them are quite interesting. So let's go ahead and get started. The first plant I brought home from Urban Jungle when I first got hired was this Scindapsus pictus Exotica. I already have one of these, but this one just really stood out to me. Its leaves are just so big and beautiful, and the silver is a little bit more pale green than the other one I have, so I just really enjoy this plant. I love these because they tell me when they need water. When they do exactly this, their leaves start to curl up, so I know that I need to water this when I'm done filming this video. But otherwise, this plant is just really easy to take care of. It is a very slow grower compared to the other Scindapsus pictus, the one with smaller leaves that I have a few of. That one just grows and trails like a curtain immediately, but this one grows a lot slower, but I don't even think this plant has put off a leaf for me since I brought it home last month. But nonetheless, it's beautiful, and I quite enjoyed the way it looks when it's small and compact. And I got this beautiful pot for it as well. We have some really awesome pots at Urban Jungle, so that's another part. Not only am I getting beautiful plants, but I'm able to bring home some really beautiful planters. So this is where the slippery slope begins of me acquiring a lot more plants than I need, although it is hard when I'm ordering these plants at work and I know they are really hard to find and I might not be able to order them again. Not the case for all of them, like the one I'm about to show you, but the ones you'll see in the future, it's just so hard not to bring them home. So right here I have some Sansevieria cylindrica Boncel. These are called like a starfish Sansevieria commonly. These came in the same pot. So they were just like all planted together in the same 4-inch pot, which was crazy. And they're both like, there's two babies, but this one is clearly an adult. And then this main focal Sansevieria Boncel right here. So these, I love Sansevieria. I feel so confident anytime I purchase a Sansevieria that it's gonna live because I have never killed a Sansevieria. The only way to really kill your Sansevierias or snake plants is by overwatering them. I usually water my snake plants, if they're in this size pot and they're in terracotta, every 2 weeks is fine, but if they're in a larger pot or if they're in plastic or ceramic, once a month is probably your best bet. Since Sansevierias are so indestructible, I'm obviously picking up a lot of them. So another one that I have recently gotten from my work is this Sansevieria Bantel Sensation. This one is just beautiful. This one doesn't even register as a plant in my mind. It is just so abstract. These leaves, as you can see, are just white. They're streaked with white. It's like just getting totally washed out on camera because it's just so bright white. It's unbelievable. These leaves are a combination of dark green, pale yellow, and stark white, which is just amazing, but most of the plant is just white, as you can tell. So this one is just so amazing, and again, it's a Sansevieria or snake plant, so I just know that it's worth the money when I purchase it and bring it home. Plus, this one's a pretty nice size, and I had never seen these before I had ordered them at the shop, so I just, as soon as they came in, I had to take one home because it was just like unreal to me, totally abstract. This next one I actually didn't get from my work, but it is a Sansevieria, so nonetheless I'm going to share it right now while we're on the topic of these wonderful plants. So it is a Sansevieria samurai. I actually don't know the real name for this plant, but we're gonna call it a samurai Sansevieria because that's what I commonly see it as. I got this from Trader Joe's and it was like $3.99, $4 maybe. So that is amazing. I just like walked in the store to do my grocery shopping with my friend and I saw this and I was like, I know I work at a plant shop and I can get plants any days, but this is coming home with me because I have not even seen these on the availability lists at my work. So came right home with me. Beautiful plant, and once again, it's a Sansevieria, so I feel confident it's gonna stay alive, but for $3.99, if it dies, whatever. So this is one that is really awesome. This one is Peperomia prostrata. It is also called turtle vine, I think is its common name. But I just know it as Peperomia prostrata. This one is beautiful. I have been purchasing these at the shop in little 2.5-inch pots for terrariums because this plant grows so well in a terrarium. But I saw 4.5-inch pots for hanging baskets, but I took the basket off and have it hanging in my little macrame hangers that I make. But I was just taken back when I saw the size of these leaves. They are so big. Some of them are, this one right here is like literally almost an inch. They are so big. I'll have to do a close-up filming separately. But they're just stunning. This one I'm a little nervous about because this plant grows so excellently in a terrarium. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to care for it outside a terrarium, but I have it hanging in a west window, which is where my terrarium is that it grows really excellently in. So I'm hoping it grows well. I just gotta make sure I keep it moist, but not too moist because peperomias, there's that really fine line with them. So I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on this one, but it is really, really beautiful. I just could not pass up bringing this guy home. Even though I'm killing them left and right, I still am in love with Calatheas or anything in the Marantaceae family. Speaking of which, so many people who come in the shop call them Calatheas, and I'm like, am I pronouncing it wrong? I feel like I've always heard people say Calathea, but suddenly the world is saying Calathea, so maybe I'll say Calathea, I don't know, but Calathea just sounds so much more like cleaner. But anyway, we're not dealing with the Latin right now. I brought home a Calathea orbifolia. These were just so beautiful, and I killed my last one that I got from NSC Tropicals, so figured I'd get another one to kill. With my Calatheas and anything prayer plant right now, I am totally realizing that they grow fine until I take them out of the plastic pot. I'm not saying that is the end-all secret for Calatheas, and I'm sure so many of you have taken your Calatheas, Marantas, what have it, out of their plastic pots and planted them in terracotta, ceramic, and anything, and I'm sure they're flourishing. But for me, I just kill them as soon as I take them out of the plastic. So I'm going to be leaving my Calatheas and everything that I purchase right now in their plastic as long as I possibly can, just to see what happens, because it's my little experiment I'm doing right now. But anyway, these Calathea orbifolias are just adorable, and they're actually growing for me, and they're growing really well at the shop, the ones that I have there. So I'm just feeling really confident, finally, and it's beautiful, and I got another beautiful pot for the plant. It's just kind of sitting in its plastic inside the pot. But these are just adorable, and I had to bring one home because how can I not have a Calathea orbifolia? And while we're on the topic of Calatheas, I have also brought home another Calathea lancifolia because I killed my last one. Surprise, surprise. This one's beautiful. It's in a 6-inch pot. I actually did like a little poll on Instagram on one of my stories to help me pick out which one I was bringing home. So thank you guys. I picked the smaller, more full plant if you're curious. But also have a wonderful pot for this. I'm getting a little spoiled with the options I have at work. But this is just so beautiful, and this one, as you know, well, maybe know, they fold down during the day and then they fold up completely at nighttime. So while this is completely down right now, this whole plant is going to be completely folded up at nighttime, and it's just beautiful, specifically because they have purple on the back of their leaves, so it just becomes this beautiful green plant in the day and then a showy purple plant at nighttime. And the lanceolate leaves are just amazing. I love anything with lanceolate leaves. It's just so cool, and the patterns on this are just second to none. So one of my favorite Calatheas, and everyone tells me it's like one of the easiest ones. My one that I got last year put off one leaf for me, and it was, I wouldn't even call it a leaf because it was just like half the size of my pinky finger. And so we're hoping that this one does well. This one has already put off a bunch of leaves for me since I brought it home. You can see like the bright green ones like right here are new. So at least so far so good. Another plant in the prayer plant family that I just couldn't pass up is this Stromanthe, stromanthoides Charlie, and this guy is just huge and beautiful. I could not pass it up, even though I can almost guarantee you I'm going to kill this plant within a month. I brought these in the shop and I was like, I want one of these so bad, they're so pretty, but I know I'm gonna kill it, so I was like, I'm gonna wait 1 week, and if they are still looking amazing and not showing any signs of decay or unhappiness, and that be it, that they're still in the shop in a week, then I'll bring one home. And a week went by and there was still this beautiful guy left, and I took him home with me, And I'm already finding some sad leaves just as since I brought it home, as you can see right here, but still hoping for the best. If any of you care for these and are like caring for it successfully, let me know what you're doing. Right now I have it in my bedroom, so it's like in a really humid environment, and it's pulled back about 6 feet from my south-facing window. So I'm just hoping that that's not too much light. I don't know if these guys like a little bit more light or if they like less light, but it is a Marantaceae or Stromanthe, so I just assume that it wants a little bit less light, but I still feel so confident I'm going to kill this. And that would be such a shame because it's so beautiful. But I'm sorry I sound like so not confident about taking care of a plant, but this guy just looks like something I would kill. So yeah, give me some tips if you have them. I'd love them, but it's just so beautiful, so let's appreciate it while it's alive. The next two plants are some of my favorites. I have been really getting into ficus lately ever since my variegated rubber trees have been growing really well, and my fiddle leaf fig experiment went super well with, you know, cutting the branches and then growing a new plant. So I've been wanting to try some more ficus, but of course quite commonly we only see the Ficus elastica or the rubber tree and the fiddle leaf fig, or like, you know, the Ficus benjamina and those, which are just kind of boring for me. So I've been wanting to delve into some more interesting ficus, so I have gotten this Ficus Audrey, which is just beautiful. This is also called a Bengal fig. I think it's because its species is benghalensis. It's Ficus benghalensis Audrey. So this plant is just amazing. It's very regal and robust to me. It just looks like a classic plant, which I absolutely love. It's casting a little too much light right now, but I'll take some separate footage. These leaves are so fuzzy and velvety. It is amazing. It is more velvety to me than the Calathea worsowicii, which was like mind-blowing when I felt it for the first time. It was just like, oh my god, this plant's so soft. This one is just like fuzzy all over, but it doesn't look very fuzzy. So I really love this plant, and it grows really easily. It's already put off one leaf. There's 3 plants in the pots, so each plant has put off 1 leaf for me since I brought it home only like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that's great because, you know, I never know with ficus if I'm going to be able to care for them or not, like new ones at least. But since my other ones are growing well, I'm feeling quite confident and I'm starting to ride the ficus train, so that's very exciting. But while we're on the topic of fun ficus, I not only have this Audrey, but this one right here, which is called a Ficus Altissima or Altissima. I don't know if I'm putting too much emphasis on that second I, or first I, I'm sorry. But this plant is just stunning. Like, I cannot get over it. When we pulled these out of the box at Urban Jungle, I was, oh my god, me and my coworker were like, oh my god, it's pixelated, it's beautiful. It just looks more interesting than the variegated ficus, which was already like one of the most interesting plants to me in general. So this one is just stunning. I love the lime greens and the yellows and the camo patterns. It's just all around what I'm looking for in a plant. So I still have to pot both of these up. I can't decide. I only have it in a regular terracotta right now. I think I want to get one of those darker terracottas to kind of, the basalt pots to kind of, you know, accent my lime green leaves. But these ficus, they both don't like to dry out. I've been finding that they really don't, I mean, they'll recover from drying out, but they don't like it. So I have been trying to keep an eye on them, and more an eye on my ficus than I have before, and make sure I'm watering them when they dry out about halfway, or, you know, only even like 25%. They really appreciate not drying out. I already know this video is going to be so long and I have a lot more plants to talk about, but the more time spent talking about houseplants, the merrier. So this right here is a ZZ plant. But is it just a normal ZZ plant? No, it has a variegated stalk. So yeah, me and my coworker were kind of freaking out when she pulled the ZZ plants out and found that one of them had a variegated stalk. So of course we had to take it home, and she was the one who found it, so she was taking it home, and then she was holding the plant up to me, which I thought I was just kissing it goodbye, but she was actually giving the plant to me, so it was a gift from my coworker, so that was very, very nice of her. And it is just beautiful, and it's a plant I really appreciate. I keep it next to the TV so we can look at it all the time and just appreciate this wonderful variegated ZZ plant. So I think this is the last plant I have from Urban Jungle, but I have a bunch more to show you guys, so don't even worry. But this one is a philodendron. So I purchased or ordered these as Philodendron Nero, but I'm pretty sure this is a Philodendron Jungle Boogie, which I think is also called like a tiger tooth or like sawtooth philodendron. These are just beautiful and they're huge, and so I had to bring one home with me. I'm getting really into the totems ever since my Monstera adansonii totem, which is right behind the camera. Maybe I'll do just a little shot of it right now as I'm talking about it. But it is just growing like crazy. I've actually cut it back a little bit and have been propagating some cuttings because it's just growing so wildly. So I've been getting drawn towards the totems, and this is I've got another totem plant I'll show you in a moment, but this one is just so amazing. I love it so much, and I got this wonderful pot from work for it, and I even bought a new plant stand, so it kind of just hangs out over in the corner where my bird of paradise used to be, and it is just looking really, really great. So this is another philodendron right here. This is a Philodendron Arrowbusk's red emerald. This one is not from my work. It is from another plant shop here in Philadelphia called Exotics, which I have some friends that own. Hello, Franco and Chris, if you are watching. But it is just so beautiful, I couldn't pass it up, and it is also a favorite of my roommates because she travels to France, and the host family she stays with has one of these, and she's watched it like climb up to the ceiling in her visits. So she really loves this plant, and so I saw it and I was like, I have to get this plant because I know my roommate will love it so much. So yeah, it is nice to have my roommate enjoy some of my plants when she's living with almost 200 of them. You can imagine if you're not a plant person, that might be a little overwhelming, but she is one of my best friends, so of course we handle each other, so she handles me. But this plant is just so beautiful, so thank you so much, Franco and Chris, for this beautiful plant. I have it potted in, of course, a beautiful planter from my work, Urban Jungle. This one's a nice like copper tone one, which I just really, really enjoy. I have a few of these around because they are just so beautiful. This right here is an orchid. This is a Dendrocaelum Magnum. This is a gift from Franco, the owner of Exotics, that plant shop I got my red emerald philodendron from. He's trying to get me into orchids, and he wanted to give me this, and it has a flower spike coming in. So I'm very excited to see this one flower. He was telling me that it's going to make my whole home smell amazing, so I am very excited for that. One of my orchids, my Britonia, I want to say Britonia. I'm not really too much of an orchid person. I know my houseplants, but I don't really know my orchids too much. It sent out 2 flower spikes for me this summer, and they are both just finishing up, and they smelled incredible. They smelled like jasmine tea, which is just amazing. Me and my roommate would always be like, let's stop and smell the flowers and go smell the orchid. So I'm really excited to have another orchid flower in my home until my Phalaenopsis ones flower over the winter, but they don't really smell like anything. So I'm really excited for this one. He said it's native to the Philippines and needs some bright indirect light, so I'm gonna have it near my west-facing window where I keep all my other orchids. I've also been doing quite a bit of online plant shopping to get those plants that I've been really wanting for a while but never really bothered to get. So some of them, I know I normally do YouTube unboxings, but when I'm just ordering one plant, what's the point? So I've been doing some on my Instagram. If you don't already follow me on Instagram at Philly Foliage, you can see some mini houseplant unboxings on there. So here's some of the ones I got. This one is a Ceropegia woodii Variegata. So this is just a variegated string of hearts. And I think string of hearts is kind of what I'm known for most on social media, in my opinion. Maybe not, I don't really know. So I figured, why not get a variegated one? So I've just been really enjoying watching this one grow. You can see right here, it's put off a few new leaves for me. So it is growing. I've had it for probably a month at this point. Grows a lot slower than the regular string of hearts. My regular Ceropegia woodii or string of hearts can grow up to a foot a month. So it grows like wildfire for me sometimes. So I was expecting this one to grow slower because I heard it grows slower, but I wasn't expecting it to grow like literally an inch a month rather than a foot. So just expect that if you buy it. But I purchased this from an Etsy seller. Her name was Lily Plants, and I mean it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive compared to the other places, and it shipped fine and it's easy enough. So I would totally recommend them if you don't already have one of these and you're looking to get one. If you haven't already watched my most recent video, my Steve's Leaves houseplant unboxing, you should totally check it out because I unboxed 8 amazing houseplants, a few of which I wasn't even aware of, I believe. So I had such a fun time, and I loved the houseplants I received from Steve's Leaves so much that I had to order another one, and I ordered this Rhaphidophora, or Rhaphidophora, I don't really know how to pronounce it correctly, tetrasperma, and it is huge, like okay, like it's not like the most giant plant you've seen on planet Earth, but I've seen a lot of people selling these like 1-leaf cuttings or like just small plants and costing a lot of money. This is 3 beautiful plants from Steve's Leaves, and it was like, I think with shipping included, it was $50. So maybe you're thinking at home, $50 for a plant, that's a lot of money. Yeah, I get it. It's not cheap, but this right here will cost hundreds of dollars if I was gonna buy this in my city, not ordering it online. So $50 is nothing compared to what this actual plant is. So if you are looking for a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, I highly recommend ordering one from Steve's Leaves because I think this is gonna be the best bang for your buck. And it's just amazing. I am so thrilled. It's already putting off new growth for me. So I'm thrilled, and I've only had this not even a week at this point, so it's still in its plastic pot because they recommend keeping them in their nursery pots for a week before you repot them, so I'm taking that very seriously with this guy. But you can see how much of the camera it's taking up. Like, this is a huge, huge plant, and I plan on getting a nice moss pole for it to climb up because I think that will do it the best. It will do it best. Here's another really awesome plant I've ordered recently that has been quite the rage. I got this one from NSC Tropicals. It is a Philodendron gloriosum. So this one was also not cheap, but compared to the other prices I've seen it, it was a steal. It was $29 and then there was $10 shipping, so I think it was $39. And it's small. It's small, but it's a really rare plant, and it's 2 plants in the pot, so that's amazing. I typically will see them. The ones I have seen are usually 1 plant per pot, sometimes 2, but usually 1 plant per pot, and they're quite expensive. I actually can't tell, but I think there might be a third in here. That's this little baby right here, but it could just be a baby leaf from one of the other plants that I can't tell. It's in the soil, so I can't really tell, but this looks amazing. It has some new growth coming in right here, and it has this new leaf that's already unfurling when I opened the box. I had just received this earlier this week, so I've only had this for a few days. Maybe I'll kill it, maybe I won't. I'm keeping it in my very humid bedroom, and I'm keeping it lightly shaded, but like still in bright and direct light. So I'm hoping that this one will live, and it has some artificial lighting too to aid it. So it is just very beautiful of a plant. I am thrilled with this Philodendron gloriosum. So my last few plants, we're almost done, are actually from you guys. I've done a few trades with a few of you. And this right here is Ric Rac Cactus. They were cuttings when I received them, but as a plant now, it's rooted. This is from Becca, so hello Becca if you're watching. I really appreciate the plants you sent me. She also sent me some Cebu Blue Pothos cuttings that are rooting quite nicely. And I also did some plant trades with Elizabeth. Hello Elizabeth if you're watching. She gave me this watermelon peperomia, which is growing really, really well. You can see these new leaves right here that are all bright green, really growing nicely for me. I have it almost right in front of a south-facing window, but kind of pushed back like a foot. This has been growing really well. She actually got a 4-inch pot, I believe, and split it in half, so she has half the plant, and then I have this half of the plant, which is just so fun. We're plant twins. And then she actually sent me a lot more, but for the sake of time, same with Becca, you sent me some more too, but for the sake of time, this video is already like 15 minutes, it's probably 20, I have no idea how long this video is, but she sent me this beautiful bromeliad. I think this is a Neorogelia, no idea how to pronounce these names, I'm so sorry, but it's a wonderful, wonderful bromeliad. It has water inside the crown, so I don't want to turn it too much and have it spill out, but this is actually a pup from her plant, if I'm not mistaken, and it has just been growing wonderfully. I've been growing this in the bathroom in an east-facing window that's frosted, so it gets some really bright and direct light, and it has just been growing really well. It's my first bromeliad. I don't know what has turned me off about bromeliads. I think it's the fact that they die, but after they bloom, and you buy them in bloom typically. So I just love the idea of having this baby bromeliad. I actually don't know if the Neorogelias like bloom like the way the other ones do, but I just really enjoy the fact of getting a baby bromeliad, so I'm able to watch it grow and go through the whole process, and then it can die and put up pups, and I'll be very happy with it. So I've been really enjoying watching this one grow. Thank you, Elizabeth. I think that's all the plants. I'm like looking around looking for more, but I think we touched all of the ones that I wanted to share today. Thank you guys so much for sticking around if you did, and just taking a step back for a moment. Thank you all so much for everything. It has just been 1 year since I have started doing YouTube and Instagram with my houseplant stuff, and I am at a loss of words for the audience that I have. You guys are so amazing. I can't believe where we're at. I just want to make it clear that this is all because of you. It's not because of me. Like, I just film the videos and I just post the pictures on Instagram. Everything else is you guys. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't have my job, which I love so much and am so thankful for, if it wasn't for you guys. So I just want you all to know that this means so much to me, and let's see where we're at year 2. I'm tearing up. It means so much to me. I just want you guys to know that this is amazing. A year ago, I was working at a bar doing I was just hosting at a bar and I was not where I wanted to be, and I started this little channel expecting it to not really do anything, like maybe thinking like, oh, like a year down the line, maybe I'll have like 1,000 subscribers, or like maybe I can finally, you know, have an audience at that point, but it's just growing really quickly. Am I the biggest channel on YouTube for houseplants? No. Am I the smallest channel? Absolutely not. So I just really, I have no words. Thank you guys so much. This is incredible. And with that being said, follow me on Instagram at Philly Foliage. Check out my Etsy shop in the link in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!